guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's tutorial, we will be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette right here. And this palette, it got a lot of mixed reviews. This one and the, what is it, Renaissance one? Modern Renaissance? No, I think it's just Renaissance. Anywho, I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. Out of both, I ended up picking up the Prism palette because it just looked a little bit more intriguing to me. The colors also looked really pretty. I have not yet swatched this, so this is gonna be my first time using it. And opening it up, it has the little protective little layer right there. And it looks like this, but has a mirror. So these are the colors right here. Now these colors, it has a variety. So, you know, you have your typical warm tones right here. And then you have a bit more of your cool tones, but nevertheless, you have the pop of colors, which would be this like orange bronzy, this like teal kind of blue. This one's kind of more of a purple blue. And this one right here, obviously your gold, can never go wrong with that. And this one has purple as well, but it's more of a like lilac dimension. That's what it's called. So I will be using this right here. Let's see what I create with it. Y'all know that I never really have a mindset. Take in mind, I've never swatched these, so I don't even know. That's pretty. So I barely even tapped it and it gave me really good pigmentation back off. So I think I might go into this one. The reflex of it are kind of like, it has a bit of purple and teal reflex. So let's see how that one works out. Let's just swatch this one right here. This one is Osiris. I suck at pronouncing these names, but. And you know what, might as well, let's go into Eternal right here. That's pretty. So that's this one right here. Let's just try, for the fun of it, let's just go into Dimension. Like a gray purple. That's kind of what I'm getting off of it. So these are the 4 colors that I just swatched. And this is the palette. So without further ado, let's go straight into it. So as you can already see, I went ahead and did my brows. And I just did the same that I've been doing for the past video. So if you want to go ahead and look at that, I will link it down below on the description box. So going on to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. And for the first color that I will be using an all over transition. And I don't see one that's a bit lighter, so I'm gonna just go ahead and use Eden right here. And the brush that I will be using is an LCE1 brush. So I will be going in with Eden right here with my LCE1 brush. So it does have a bit of fallout. Don't know if you could see that. And I will just be going in windshield wiper motion. And then as I am spreading all that color, I will be also using circular motion to make sure I go ahead and blend it out. So far, the pigment of it seems really, really good. Soft. Easy to blend. So far, this brush is seriously really, really soft. So the retail price for this brush is, so we're just going in right here to her website. So this brush does retail for $24. Don't know if you could see right here. And it is this one right here. So this brush retails for 24 bucks, which is a bit on the pricier side for a blending brush. But so far, it has not had any shading at all. And it is really, really soft on the eyes. It's not tugging on my eyes whatsoever at all. So I'm actually really liking that. And yeah, so I did take my course with her. This was about, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago already. It has been a while. I do know that the other people that do work at her salon also do courses, but of my understanding, I know she officially dropped out of the whole makeup artist game because she's been doing makeup for so many years now. So she officially dropped her brush about, I want to say, 3 months ago, to really focus on her brand and focus on building up like her YouTube and just more her brand side of it, rather than just also doing makeup freelancing, I guess you'd say. And not freelancing because she has her own beauty salon, but y'all get me though, right? It has a little bit of fallout, but it's nothing I'm mad at. Like, it's not in like excessive fallout, but you can notice right here. So as you can see, it is my first time placing this on my crease, and I haven't went back in with more color, and it is so far really good pigment, soft, blendable. It's not looking chalky at all. For it to be a very light color, it's not chalky whatsoever. That's really good. So I went ahead and built up Eden just a little bit, and now I will be going into Parallel, which is this brown chocolatey color right here, with a Sigma Blending E25 brush, and it's just like a little regular crease brush. So I will be grabbing Parallel and simply, let's see, I'm just tapping into it, minimal fallout, and placing that directly into the outer corner of the lid, blending that. Just getting a really soft brown smoky effect. Tapping back in, gradually adding color. Remember, we don't want to go too over Eden. We want to use Parallel just a little bit under Eden to make sure we still have that gradient of effect for both colors, so both just clashing in. And I'm just here, I'm patting, and I'm also using circular motion to blend out that color. And don't be afraid to just go back in with Eden if you feel like you're losing a bit of that color, and slowly blend it out. So basically, I'm just grabbing some color and patting it in. So as you can see, I'm having no trouble blending these colors out. They seem to be very blendable and they work very well together. And now I'm gonna tap out whatever is left and blend it in. Very small circular motion. Now you want to make sure each shadow stays on its own lane, and just at the very edge, make sure you blend it out as much as you can to really have that very smoked out effect. I'm not doing big circular motions. I'm just grabbing it now and just simply by the tip of the brush. The bristles are barely even touching my lid, but enough to where I'm just bringing those two colors together. And remember, don't be afraid to go back in to the first color, Eden, and blend that further out. And do the same on the other eye. ¿Cómo decirle que te amo? ¿Cómo decirle que te amo si él me ha preguntado? So the color that I will be using on my lid is Throne, and it is this beautiful teal color right here. This one right here. And I will be using that same brush that came on the palette, and it's just a little Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. Looks like this. And I will be using the flat side of it. So I'll go ahead and see if it applies well with the brush. If not, I will be using my finger per usual. I feel like that's just my personal preference on applying any type of shimmer, because I feel like it applies the best and it shows the most pigment. But we're gonna go ahead and give this brush a try. So I didn't apply any Fix Plus, which was normally what I would do, but let's go ahead and try it out and see how well it applies. Oh my god, this color is pretty. So far, it is applying really nicely. It does have a bit of like loose specks of shimmer, but it's okay. So it's applying very nicely. Even though I'm not using any Fix Plus, so far I'm not disappointed on this color. Sometimes some colors do tend to like just wash out or not show the actual color on the pan, but so far this one's not doing that to me, so that's really, really good. It does have a bit of fallout, but I mean that's pretty normal when it's normally like a shimmer. And especially since I'm not using any Fix Plus. Normally the Fix Plus will like wet it and dampen a little up to a point where it doesn't like really move. It just becomes kind of like a very glistening kind of like shimmer. And all I'm doing is picking some color up and literally just laying it on the lid and just pressing it on. I'm not using any windshield wiper. I'm just pressing. So I will be going back in a little bit with that Eden and that same LC brush and just ever so slightly blending out the tip of the color that we just applied, thrown. And I do have a little napkin right here, which I'm like going back in and cleaning off my LC brush because I don't want none of that thrown to mix with Eden. So now what I will be doing is going back in with Parallel and that same Sigma 825 brush and just further intensifying the outer corner. And now just to intensify the outer corner more, I will be going in with Obsidian, which is this black color right here. And just adding that with that same Sigma E25 brush, just a little bit, just barely tapping into it. And just placing this on the outer corner. In little circular motions. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going in with my Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser face primer. And I'll be going ahead and blending that in. Mainly on the areas that I feel like I have opened pores. And then once I see that that is nice and settled in, I'll just go ahead and blend out the rest. So the foundation that I will be going in with today is the Fenty foundation. And I know I made a review on this foundation and I only had the sample sizes. So by you guys seeing this bottle right here, that means that it was a good foundation. So I really did end up liking this foundation. The long wear of it was really good. The coverage I felt was also really good. It did not have any backflash when I took pictures at night. So yeah, so I actually went ahead and went out and bought it finally. So I could actually use it now. So yeah, Fenty foundation. Totally recommend it for you guys. For those of you who have been wanting to try out a new foundation or just looking for a foundation in general. Also, you really do get a decent amount for the money. Normally, the foundations range right now $40 and up. And this one was actually a whopping 34 bucks, which I actually think is really, really affordable right now. So you have to do shake. You do have to shake it a little bit, give it a little shake before you actually go ahead and apply it, just to make sure the formula is like activated. So I'm just going to be using a little plate right here and applying that, 3 pumps of that. And I will be using my beauty blender to apply like this. So as you can see, the coverage of it is really, really good. So as you can already see, this is just one easy application, one side versus the side that has no foundation. So just going in and using my damp beauty blender. Remember, the beauty blender works its best when it's damp and clean. Make sure you wash your beauty blender after every single use, because if you don't, that foundation is gonna stay stuck in there, and that's when it makes your beauty blender kind of like tarnish inside, and then that's when it's gonna start falling apart, and then the lifespan of your beauty blender is gonna be shorter. And may I remind you, these beauty blenders go for $20, and yeah, I know 20 bucks might not break the bank, but in this case, you don't want to go ahead and spend 20 bucks every other week. So make sure you do wash your beauty blender after every use. And now for my concealer, I will be going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And applying this under my eye. I do clean it off a bit because I feel like it's kind of excessive what comes off of the big applicator. So kind of just 1, 2, 3. Make sure I get that even application. And then I go ahead and whatever's left, I spread that out. Just a little bit down my nose, down the bridge of my nose, because I will be contouring a bit today. And I go up and I go ahead and spread that out. And a little bit on the sides of my nose. And down my stash. And going back in with my beauty blender and blending that out. And the formula of this concealer is literally full coverage. And then for the nose, I go ahead and pinch it and just tap to make sure I don't fully spread it out everywhere and it stays exactly where I had applied it. And now to set that, I will be going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And then with whatever's left on the beauty blender, I like to go ahead and just put that over my forehead. I feel like my forehead is the place where I put the least makeup on. I don't know why. And then whatever is on the bottom, I go ahead and blend it down. So now I will be going in with my bronzer. And my favorite bronzer at the moment is the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. And I use my Dose of Colors powder brush right here. It's just a big fluffy brush. Tap it out. And I start off at the rims of my forehead. And I'm kind of doing it in a circular motion. And then I work my way down to my cheekbones, just to give myself a little bit more color. And then obviously under my jawline to hide all of that abuse of food that I was doing for the holidays. I mean, I made food my bitch. Like, I think New Year's was the only day I didn't go ham, but the day after, like the 1st of January, I was sick New Year's, right? Worst way to ever spend New Year's, food poisoning. I had the stomach flu. Worst. I'm talking about, I was dead. Puro suerito, puro gelatina, puro freaking alcalcer, like sal de uva. I was just done. I didn't want to see a fucking suero no more. My boyfriend's tia me sobó. Like, I was just like so over it. I felt so sick. And then January 1st, I like got up in the morning, I showered, I left to my mom's house. And I was like, damn, I'm a whole new person, because damn, the 31st, I was just dunzos. Like, it was bad. So the January 1st, I abused of food. Like, I was like supposed to keep it light, you know, because I had just gotten over the stomach flu. And no, I went ham on everything. I was like, they had ribs and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try it just a little bit, you know, para que no me caiga mal. Hell no, I ate like 2 ribs, me chingué un plato de ceviche. What else did I eat? Oh my God. Once I got there, I was like, Mom, I'm hungry. And she's like, oh, well, hay carnitas. Oh my God. I had like 2 tacos of carnitas with like a whole freaking aguacate. Dude, I'm a walkhead. Like, I'm a hella walkhead. Like, I could eat aguacate with anything. I love it so much. So I was like, yes, me chingué 2 tortillas de carnitas con aguacate. Oh my God, like, no regrets. Y me chingué una soda. I know I wasn't supposed to, and I was gonna be a whole new, you know, person for the New Year's and pura agüita, but no, me tuve que chingar una coquita helada para que me supiera la comida, because if not, you really don't find the taste of food. I feel like there's no purpose on eating it if there's not like a cold ass coquita que te queme la garganta when you're like, and even your eyes get watery. That's when you know that shit was good. But anywho, back to the makeup. So yeah, I will be just bronzing everything, giving myself a little bit of color back and bringing that down to hide all of that shit that I devoured. So to contour, I will be using this Makeup Forever Professional Sculpting Kit. This one right here. And a Smith Cosmetics 112 brush. And it just looks like this right here. Just literally tapping into it and tapping out. That's what she said. Okay, so just literally grabbing just a little bit by the tip. That's what she said. No, I'm kidding. For reals, neta this time. And then just applying this on the bottom hollow part of the cheekbone. There's not even a hollow. You gotta create that bitch. But bringing it all the way up. This is a struggle, man. I have like the freaking worst sideburns. Like, ugh, so annoying. Okay, so I'm just go ahead and bringing that up in circular motion. And now that I've already done that, I will go ahead and clean that up with my translucent powder, my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Tap some out. And using my beauty blender. I will be going in back to my Prism palette, and with a Morphe M322 brush, I will be going in with Eden and placing it under my eye. I will be going in with Parallel, which was the brown chocolate color right here. And this is a Bdellium Tools 781 brush. It's just a bit smaller than the Morphe one. And making sure I'm a little bit closer to the lower lash line. And going back in with Eden and blending that out. And just with a little shader brush, I will be going in with Obsidian. So a little bit with Obsidian, and just this is just a little e.l.f. professional eyeliner brush. It's just a little flat brush. And going in with the black. And I will be getting on the lower lash line. And now to blend out my baking, I will be grabbing again a little bit of my bronzer and just lightly tapping in and tapping that out and blending that all over, just to make sure we don't get that very harsh line. Everything just becomes very nice and smooth and just transitions nicely. So now for highlight, I will be going in with my Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Fuego. And this is my favorite highlight at the moment. I just feel like it glistens onto the skin and it doesn't have that like powdery finish. It just looks like so smooth and nice. Do you guys see this? Wow. Yes. Yes. A little bit on the tip of my nose. And now all I will be doing is grabbing a little Smith 232 brush and a little bit of that Hoola bronzer once more. And just ever so slightly tipping it in and contouring out my nose just a tiny bit. Nothing too crazy today. I just want a little bit more of definition and depth right here. And for blush, I will be using one of my faves right now, and it is the 05 Luminoso Baked Blush by Milani Cosmetics. And my Bdellium Tools 942 brush. So I personally like to tap in my blush and then I like to blend it in. And what I like about this blush is it has little specks of glitter, so it just makes my face look a bit more shiny, more alive, rather than just having an all matte blush. And now I will be going back in with that Prism palette and grabbing Pyramid, which is this gold right here, and grabbing Lucid, which is this kind of like champagne-y white right here. It's a shimmer as well. And I will be getting a mixture of those both and placing it in my inner tear duct. And now for my lips, I will be going in with my MAC Cosmetics Spice Lip Liner and outlining my lips. And I will be filling it in using my Dose of Colors No Shade. So now I'm just gonna pop on my Cocoa lashes in Style Goddess.